Hello everybody, Andy here again. Well, I watched a video earlier on today by a couple of people I really like, Sunny and Stormy, and they were doing a video about what about you? And the idea behind it is, what is your favourite Christmas memories? Because you've probably all got favourite Christmas memories, whether they be good ones or bad ones. As per usual, they've come up with another good question. If you don't know them, go and check them out over there. I'll put their channel link up there because they're a couple of nice people. Always come up with nice, thoughtful videos. But I watched Gary's response to that, and it got me thinking. I've literally just been out for a run, and you know what it's like when you start running. If you've ever done it, you start thinking about these things, and things start going. I thought, right, I'm going to come home, so I'm still a bit hot. Excuse me, I'm what Gary would call a hot mess, I think. But I thought I'm going to do this now before I forget it. But at first I thought I can't really think of anything in particular. My family, although we had good Christmases, I don't recall having bad Christmases or anything like that. We didn't have any of those sort of family traditions that a lot of people do, particularly. I mean, my wife's parents, for example, who are religious, whether that has got anything to do with it, I don't know. They had quite sort of set things that they did, whether it be in the build up to Christmas or at Christmas itself, and I think that's quite good. My wife has actually carried that on with our children, and that's another point, because thinking about this, I thought, well, I think my best memories are really tied up with my children, because I've had this discussion with a couple of people recently, actually via messages and things like that, about sort of children. Come to the time now when my children are now 18 and 14, and I'm a bit ambivalent about Christmas, to be honest, but when I look back and I realise just how good it was then, when your children are younger. If you've got young kids, you know exactly what I mean. If you haven't got kids, you probably, you might not understand, but when they're your kids, and maybe you can revert back to when you were kids and you remember what it was like then, it's quite a magical time. And the best one that I can remember is actually something that my wife and I were talking about the other day, funnily enough, was when my son was about 18 months old. He's now 18 years old, so there's a bit of a difference. And that got me rummaging around, because in those days I had an old Hi8 video camera. We're talking 1992. Look, and I found all of these tapes, which well, some of them have been catalogued, this one in particular, and I just found these sort of up in the cupboard, and I've got this all catalogued. There you go, it's all written down exactly what it is. Xmas Christmas 1992 is my sort of best thing, and maybe it's because I've got it recorded that it is on it is a good memory, although I still remember it now, but that might be looking back. What I'd love to do is to get these all onto the computer, so if anybody knows how you can get Hi8 videotapes onto an iMac computer, or even via Windows, I'd be very grateful, because I'd love to get some great stuff on here, which I'd love to put up on the internet, and it'd be great to be able to put this particular memory actually out there, whether my wife or my son would appreciate it. The memory itself was just the Christmas morning. You know what it's like. The child wakes up, came into our bedroom, and we had, my wife's always had this sort of stocking that you have at the end of the bed, and they put lots of little bits and pieces in there, and then the main presents were in the lounge. We were living in a flat at the time, not where we are now. And he got up, and we were sitting on the bed, and I was filming it, opening all these little presents, and it's just the sort of the look on the child's face, that sort of magical wonderment, you know, all the Father Christmas sort of things that are going on there, and you know, and the expressions and the noises and the excitement and all that sort of thing is absolutely amazing, and it brings it across. It's infectious. And then I opened all those presents, and I remember he then went into the next room. He bought him a little tricycle, his first sort of bike, you know, and I managed to sort of set the camera up without him realising, sort of sat in the corner when he came in, and he looked at it, and then he sort of backed away, and he sort of looked, and he, you know, sort of thinking that Father Christmas had bought this for him and all this sort of stuff, and then we'd left a little drink and a biscuit, and he couldn't believe that Father Christmas had actually come in and drunk some of the milk, and we'd left some crumbs, you know, and all this sort of stuff. And so you can see how that memory still lingers, and always will do, especially if you've got it on videotape, which is, you know, one of my favourite subjects about this type of thing. Take those memories, and you can keep those memories, although you can keep them up here, you've got them on tape, or even on the internet or something, you've got them in another way. So I think this is great. That's a good memory. It's brought it back. Good times, you know, not that they're not good now, but, you know, as I said, my wife and I were talking about this precise memory just the other day. So it's still there. It is a good memory. So if you have got children, keep hold of those memories and make sure you record them and make sure you remember them, because although those times will pass after time has gone on, as they always do, your children grow up, bring you new memories, but those ones when they're young, 18 months old, and that sort of early childhood things are pretty magical. Anyway, thanks for the suggestion, Sunny and Stormy. Go and watch their video, as I said, which will be under here, I'm sure, and go and check out their channel. And I'm going to go and get in the shower because I'm hot. Anyway, I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.